Hello, I'm Shelley Rothus, and I'm a different kind of victim. Today's topic, we're going to be discussing the clan members and how they easily follow that cult leader. Now, why do they follow the cult leader? Like, you know, he's got some kind of, catnip or whatnot. Well, there's good reasons. Just like a cult leader, I mean, in real life, basically it's like slaves. You do as they say, otherwise they have more people that are on their side that will go against you if you don't do what they say. So many people end up feeling like they have no other choice. Like in my situation, I did feel like I didn't have any choice for quite a bit of years. Like I said, I had tried to banish or leave, and hopefully they'd just, forget about me and just leave me alone. It didn't work out that way because I'd end up having people that were mutual friends, and he would send messages, even threatening messages to me, even after I blocked him. So, yeah, many people, it's based upon their own fear, even if they don't want to admit it. It's hard for me to admit it. And you'll see in the other slides that I'm going to be showing in between how that is. Because, like I myself, I'm not good with, that type of abuse. I mean, I was emotionally, verbally, and psychologically abused by my abusers in real life. But just like my abusers in real life, they were able to get away with lies, based upon their position over me being my parents and how society and culture sees them. Parents, they're always the loving, caring ones, always have their children in their best interest. Same with the cult leader. Basically, it's kind of like slavery, you know, in a way, because those people are just going to follow them because they know that if they don't, they're going to be in big trouble. So the following slides is going to be based upon where it'll show that Unshorn Wizard at the time had defended me, which was in his group that he and Two-Faced ran. Now this is from the incident, not the recent one, but the one before. Actually, it all started off in a group called Let's Debate Almost Anything, and that's where I had first seen Unshorn Wizard and actually first had, thought he was a really good person. And this was before I actually knew Pooty Lube William before he knew him, and quite a few others too. And I, he was, he seemed like a good friend at the time, but then he ended up getting that ego. You would think that, admins in Facebook, that, oh, they're moral and they're going to make good choices and go by the rules. Just like real life, just because somebody's a teacher doesn't mean that they're they're not they're not a cult leader. Or, any bad, heck, teachers could be sexual offenders, just like priests, anybody. Okay, so an LDAA, that's the group that he started to get that ego. He ended up making his own public group, and that's where he really started getting the followers. Now, in Let's Debate Almost Anything, that was run by Two-Faced and Decetress. And there was another admin that finally came out to me after, not the recent, but the incident that I'm going over now of the bullying that happened to me, that actually, you know, confessed to me that those admin were basically afraid of Pooty Lube William and did anything at the snap of a finger. Whatever he said, they did. It was out of fear. But you know what? They're still clan members of his, and act like he's buddy buddy. They're buddy buddy with him and whatnot. So the following slides will show how Unshorn Wizard defended me, but he ended up in a hate group. Yet the person he was defending me against, like I said, when I had mentioned that he was in a hate group, but he was defending me for same reasons with other people, certain other people, but not Pooty Lube. Well, this is where it's going to show that. it's going to show that he defended me against the hate group, because I remember there was two. The one that Shitsula made, and he was defending me against certain people. And it was kind of funny that he ended up in a hate group that I didn't even know about then at the time for a while. And Poodyloo was making lies about me. And that's where I'll also show where it was actually, a lie. And I had actually shown Unshorn Wizard the truth in my truth group that I had mentioned. So this is the same that I had shown him in the truth group. But like I said, people still believe the lies even after seeing the truth, and they'll continue to believe even more lies, even after they've seen that person lie multiple times. Heck, what's funny is that Poodyloo had actually done things that were bad to Unshorn Wizard, but he always went back. Many people did. And I always knew that, I'd watch this, he would do really nasty things, and these people just come right back to him. Like I said, that fear, and that person has so many people on their side, and they're able to do things and get people to hate them and this and that, of course they're gonna stay, basically, it's fear, or even, the delusional, mindset that, yeah, that is a good friend, they're a good friend of mine, and, or, they want to be that, they get that little catnip, of power themselves, the fake strong, I'm tough. So also, so the lies you'll see where actually Unshorn Wizard tells this person that's, saying degrading things about me and being mean, he's telling them that he would never be in a hate group. And guess what? He ends up in a hate group. And he's still in a hate group. And it's based on me. Yet he tells this person that, what kind of friend does that? A douche dog crap, piece of crap, or something like that. So I guess he's one of that too. It's funny that he says that he would never do that, but then he ends up doing it very shortly after telling this person, and degrading them for being in a hate group about me. Yet he ends up in a hate group about me. That's what's so interesting, It's like he goes against what he preaches, saying he would never do something like that, but ends up doing it more than once. And, even though he did do that, he is the first person that had supported me and defended me. So, like I've said before, I still will always appreciate that. It does mean a lot to me. Of course, he ended up hurting me the most in the end. But then, again, at least with the recent bullying incident, or again, I have no idea how that even started, because I hadn't associated with hardly anybody. Something about me giving out personal information about Unshorn Cuntassanova, I have no clue. But again, lies win over the truth. And it's just total proof based upon, the slides that I'm going to be showing you as to how these clan members follow that cult leader. Like, even if the lies are right in front of them, they still believe anything he says, even with evidence right in front of them. And even Unshorn Wizard asked this person for evidence, and I had shown him evidence of Poodyloo Williams' lies, and he still believed more, even afterwards. So the next 4 slides are going to show you that, where I proved the lies, and also him stating he would never be in a hate group, and stating, what kind of friends would do something like that, that were your friend. Exactly. What kind of friend is that, Unshorn Cuntassanova? I don't know. You tell me. So enjoy the next 4 slides, and I'll be right back after those 4 slides. Hey, back for the next slides. Okay, now I'm going to discuss what the next slides are. The next slides are going to be after an incident where Poodyloo William upset his clan members, more than one. Mainly Santa Viking and Unshorn Wizard at the time. Well, I should say Unshorn Cuntassanova, because it was around that time that he was actually in a hate group about me that Pooty Loop had already made that I didn't know about yet. So at the time, he was still Unshorn Wizard to me. Anyways, so what did Pooty Loop William do? He ended up implying and saying that John Paul, Santa Viking, and Unshorn Wizard Ken are pedophiles. Because they would go to Disney World. I mean, pretty pathetic to, say somebody's that. I mean, heck, some people should, speak. Heck, there's teachers out there that are cult leaders or cyber bullies. Anyways, he ended up making a hate group based upon those people that he called pedophiles. But what's funny is that he had a hate group going on about me, and he added me to this hate group. So I'm thinking, it's like, he's already, already knew that they were pissed at me because I wouldn't, go along and tag along with them and putting down that woman who is, self-harming herself. So I'm thinking to myself, what the heck, and of course it's one of those, pity party groups, kind of, hate groups where he's trying to gather in his other clan. That's when he had two different clans going on, and he was going after the clan that I was in, not the one that Unshorn Wizard and Santa Viking were in. He was trying to get them to get involved, to attack, and he did really well. I mean, it actually came to a funny part where Hateradicus, let's just say, even Unshorn Wizard at the time, them two, and they butt heads, let's just say that. So she made a comment saying that she was going to, for Pooty Loop, to help him out, that she was going to aggravate Ken. I mean, I was actually laughing. I thought that was hilarious because already at that time, I, at least the person I, thought I knew wouldn't even give a crap. That's why I was laughing. Like, yeah, good, good luck with that. It's not going to even faze him. So, I just, pinned along with it, like, yeah, right. So, anyways, of course, I was disgusted because at that time I was friends with John Paul, Santa Viking, and I thought that I actually knew Unshorn Wizard at the time. So I was really, disgusted that they made a hate group about them too. Especially, I didn't know Santa Viking, but I actually thought highly of Unshorn Wizard at the time, so I was really kind of upset. Actually really upset. So, but little did I know that he was in a hate group about me. So, here I am caring when he didn't even give a crap and he had fun degrading me. Again, like the first part of this video. Yeah, some friend that is, like he said. Anyways, near the end, I mean, it got funny because, I ended up showing Santa Viking, John Paul, the, hate group and slides of it, screenshots. And first they thought it was Two-Face that did it. Then they, like me, they were going between the two of us. And I really didn't care. Because honestly, at that time, I was thinking to myself, well, finally, they're going to maybe, just toss me out. But I knew darn well that they weren't going to let go that easily and they would attack me. But anyways, that's when I found out about the hate group about me, because John Paul, Santa Viking, showed me that. And that was when I saw what Unshorn Wizard, who I thought at the time was Unshorn Wizard, had said that he wanted to get rid of me without hurting my feelings. Yeah, that's where I just went. So anyways, okay, that's hard to even think about. Anyways, yeah, so here, this is the cult leader. He's a great friend, right? He makes that hate group. But just like I said, the cult leader, those clan leaders, they're so faithful. They come running right back to him, and that's exactly what happened. I was like, okay, I already had it pegged out. I was like, okay, this is who's gonna go back first, and I was pretty much accurate, because actually the last person to go back was, in fact, Unshorn. I'll say Cuntassanova, since he was in a hate group about me. But yeah, it kind of panned out exactly how I thought. Just like the cycle of abuse. They went through that honeymoon phase. and then went right back. Basically, that's what they did. And I even made a GIF about a spinning wheel. And that's exactly what my truth group was. The cycle of abuse. And that's even the clan members on it going back, to that same person that's done them wrong. So, yeah, it was kind of interesting how that panned out. That he ended up having another hate group about other clan members. So there was three hate groups going on. you know. But here I am being, the one that actually cares and friend, you know, being upset about, him making a hate group. And then I find out that the one of the person, that it was mainly about was in a hate group about me. Ah. But again, in the end, the recent incident is when, at least I know the truth now of who these people really are, including Unshorn Cuntassanova, because at least I know that it ended up being not who I expected, which was John Paul Santa Viking, that ended up being the bigger person and coming to where I'm at. So, again, the next slides are going to be the hate group that Pooty Lube William, the cult leader, made about Ken, Unshorn Cuntassanova, and John Paul Santa Viking. That's right. So those are going to be the next slides that you'll see. Okay, now for the last two slides. I'm gonna have to explain, especially the one of them. Okay, the last two slides. One of them is where you'll see that Pooty Lube William had made a statement based on Unshorn Cuntassanova or Unshorn Wizard, not sure, but basically a threat. That's when he found out that Unshorn Wizard was talking to me, and of course, since I was the, prime, you know, one that they're attacking, you better not be friends with that person. So basically, it was given a hint, you have a choice to either drop her or we're going to attack you. So, well, you know, he has to be underneath, Pooty Loo, because he needs to be he needs to be a man. He wants to be a man, strong. So, yeah, he ended up, siding with Pooty Lube. Even after my truth group and seeing all of that, he ended up leaving my truth group. And, you know, anyways, there was also another incident where he was pretty cruel to me and another group that I had made that Decetress is in, but that'll be for another video. Anyways, it, proves that, he believes anything that Pooty Lube Williams says. Even if the lies are so obvious and there was evidence and the truth was right there. So, we were actually on video chat, me and Unshorn Wizard, and he was getting a whole bunch of notifications because he was getting PMs from like a ton of different people that I never even really talked to. But of course, they were spreading all the lies and everything that was obvious. For someone who says that they left high school to get away from that stuff, they sure love being involved in it because they're the ones that are still involved in it. Unshorn Cuntassanova, still in those hate groups talking about me and John Paul, pretty pathetic if you ask me, but like he said, what kind of friends are those. It's like, anyways, so we were on video chat and he was pretty pissed off, but I mean, I'm gonna have to make a joke here. Let's just say that whenever Ken Unshorn Cuntassanova is mad, it reminds me of a cartoon character, when they get mad. But this was him with his, phone, looking at his phone, you know, going off, going. Anyways, yeah. Well, he didn't like me laughing at him, but he would never be able to tell that this person is mad. I mean, they look like a cartoon character. Anyways, okay, I'll stop. Anyways, anyways, he was, buying the, BS and all that stuff. So he ended up, of course, you know, taking the easy route, going back up to his master, Booty Lube, even with obvious lies that I'd already shown him and he's seen, you know. But since it was the cult leader that, of course he's going to go right up there to kiss that pooty booty. But anyways, so that's when things went, I already knew right on that phone call, right when he was getting all those notifications. First thing I thought, I said, it's over. I already knew that he was going to go, just even if the lies were obvious, I already knew right then and then. I was like, that's why I looked so sad. And, and it's just like, I was like, screw it. I already knew that, he was going back to the cult leader. Anyways, so that's what I knew was over, and that was the group where actually Unshorn Cuntassanova and Two-Faced run, and Pooty Loop had attacked me in there. So there's more going to be about that too in future videos that I'll be doing. So, yeah, like I said, those clan leaders, they, stick right underneath that leader, even after they've done them wrong, and even if they end up hurting people that did nothing wrong to them, just like, Unshorn Cuntassanova, he ended up, ghosting me afterwards, and totally avoiding me after that incident, which is obvious, because, he can't be my friend, because if Pooty Lube William found out, God forbid, but hey, if people want to be friends with somebody like that, after all the stuff that I just showed you that he's done, let them be friends with people like that, I'm just glad that I have somebody that's, with me now and I'm not alone, which is, of course, John Paul, Santa Viking. So it does feel good that I'm not alone this time like I was many times before. So this is the first time that I'm not alone in the ending of it. So, again, thumbs up to John Paul. And I'm glad that I stayed the bigger person, didn't crawl back to that pooty booty and licking, Because, again, I'm proud to see this face in the morning and being the bigger person. Because I don't like to be that, nasty person. As for the other slide, let's just say I'm better at physical strength and defense. I'm not a violent person, but, let's just say if Booty Lube came to me, I had no problem fighting him. That's just how I was. Like, even in real life, when I was sexually assaulted by a neighbor that lived down the street from me when I was around 11, almost 12, and they actually lived down the street from us the whole time. And when I got older, I was, pretty muscular in my legs and my arms. So guys, they usually were afraid of me, I mean, the guys down the street, one of the guys, there was twins, two twin brothers and the older brother. One of the twin brothers had sexually assaulted me, and, they would yell out to me, the three boys, whenever I rode my bike past their house, Schwarzenegger, and, for a girl that was, embarrassing because, it's not like I didn't really care for the muscular look, that I had. That's just how I was, I was built that way, and I exercised. So of course I was muscular. But anyways, that's not the point. I just so my way of I'm never good. I was never good with words as for defending myself. So I would give them a little scare. I guess you could say a big one. I would I'd get mad when they were making fun of me, and I'd take my bike. I'd do a swift turnaround, and I'd come right back after the three of them, charging with my bike at them, and then and all of a sudden they'd go, "She's coming back," and they'd run, boom, the three of them. So that's just how I handle it. But hey, that's just let's look at it this way. Like, okay, who's the strongest in the group? You would think that Pooty Loop would be the physically stronger one. That if you looked at him, that he's the strongest of them all. I mean, Pooty Loop actually threatened people to physically harm them. Like, his nickname was Aspar, we called him. He actually said that he went to Canada to meet him there to kick his butt. I mean, I thought that was freaking funny. He said the guy didn't show up. I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I would have showed up and let you take the first punch. I mean, but no. Let's just say this is how it goes. There's, Pooty Loop, you would think that he's the strongest, when actually the strongest one in the, group out of the guys, that would be first Santa Viking, John Paul. He would be the strongest. He could kick, both Pooty Loop and, Unshorn Cuntassanova's butt big time. He's a wrestler. That's where I wanted to be, was a wrestler. I would have loved to fight guys. I mean, not because I think I'm a guy. It's just, that's just me. That was my dream, was to become a wrestler. You know, so you know something about me now. Anyways, then it would be Unshorn Cuntassanova, then Pooty Loop. Out of physical strength, as for physically. Now, okay, out of the three of them, oh, I could take all three of them on easily. Okay, now you know a little something about me. That's just how I am. I've never been physically afraid, even of men. That's just how I am. I'm not violent, but if, taken on, I'd prefer to defend myself against a man. That's just how I've always been, even since I was younger. So, okay, the next two slides is going to be where it was in Unshorn Cuntassanova's group, where Pooty Lube, the cult leader, William, had attacked me again and tried to get, more followers, onlookers, get his clan members involved, and all of that, his cult leader assistant, everything, and attacked me, for the finale. And, of course, Unshorn Cuntassanova didn't help out one bit. He just got scared when he seen that his name was, in there. Because we were on video chat, and he goes, "What am I involved in this for?" Of course, because he got scared. You're like, "Oh no, my master is, mad at me because I'm friends with the, person that he's after and attacking." So yeah, that's where he went. He went right back to kissing the pooty booty. And he just, totally outed me and ghosted me after that, and that's when our, friendship ended. So I was upset about that, because I did enjoy talking to him. And, of course, since he was the first person that supported me, so I was, really upset about that and how that whole thing ended. But again, I got to leave all of that being the bigger person. That's what I keep on reminding myself, because, like I said, that goes way back of how I was. I don't like being mean to people. I don't like, degrading and doing things like that, and I'm just totally done with all of them, But like I said, I still have John Paul, Santa Viking, with me this time. So enjoy the next two videos, and just remember that one where I kind of said some, don't mind the F words, but hey, like I said, self-defense isn't illegal, and if you came here and tried, you're darn right, you'd be messing with me. But I don't need him to feel strong like certain people, like Cuntassanova does. I'm strong on my own, without that ugly doofus. Okay, next two sides. Okay, that's the ending of those slides. As you can see, I'm probably looking tired and probably missed some words. Like I noticed I said videos instead of posts. Well, that is because I'm sliding too. I was up early and I'm in the process of looking for a job, redid my resume. I woke up really early. But I'm like, that's me too. I'm like the Energizer bunny. I keep going really until I'm like, and I go, and I crash. That's me. So, anyways, so we went over and seen how the clan members just stick even to the clan, the cult leader, you know, like glue. Even when the lies are so obvious and it's right in front of their face, the evidence, you know. And, even though they see, it's very obvious that this, group of friends aren't what you would, want as friends, you know, whether it be online in real life or even to know people like this that would turn on you. I mean, look at, how quickly Unshorn, Wizard went to Unshorn Cuntassanova, just like that, in such a short amount of time, because he's got to be a man and be strong, He's got to be underneath his master, basically like slavery, you know. Whatever that catnip, is what's keeping them there. Or they were like me, where they just, gave up, said, I might as well stick around and just deal with it even though I can't stand it, you know. They're going to end up coming after me, But like I said, they already took me down as far as they could. So, anyways, you've seen how the lies were apparent and how they keep going back. And then also all the, cruel things that, you could do to them and they still run right back, to get that pooty booty, making the hate groups, and stuff like that. And they keep going right back, you know. And even, even more, obvious lies, they'll drop somebody that's actually, actually did care about them and or actually like them or respect them in a heartbeat, to go back to somebody who doesn't respect them, and that's exactly what Unshorn Wizard went to Unshorn Cuntassanova and went back to the Pooty Booty and just like threw me out, and started treating me in very disrespectful ways, because, you can't be friends with the, person that's being targeted, which is pretty weak, So I also see that as, being weak, not just, physically, but mentally, mentally weak, that you would actually disrespect somebody and do some, harm, even harm, intentional harm, like he did to me in the recent incident, is, was really, really despicable, you know. Like I said, I'm glad that I'm the bigger person now, and that's what I got to see because, you know, I can't imagine doing something that like he did to me, especially in the last recent incident. The other incidences, I was willing to forgive him, except for the ghosting is when I really seen his, true colors. And this last incident really showed, wow. I don't know who's worse, Hootie Loop or him. It's almost like he's, copying him now. Almost like he really wants to, fit in. He wants to be, Pootie Loop, like, ugh. But that's not the type of strong man that is respectable, if you know what I mean. You know, just like I didn't see myself as being respectable when I was a part of that. I didn't see myself in the mirror as being a, good, humane person. So at least, I didn't, stay in the for a long, like I said, for a long time. I didn't stay. I was one of those that felt like I didn't have any other choice. I really didn't, because they always came back. Like I said, they'd find other people that knew me, threatening messages, and like I said, look at this recent incident. The last bullying incident is when it got to the worst, where Unshorn Cuntassanova really betrayed me. So, but like I said, that was the end draw. So, anyways, cult leaders, are they really all that? In a way, they are, just like in real life. People follow them. It's basically like slavery, you know, because all the people under them that follow that cult leader, they're basically the slaves of that person, and they're following their orders. And that's not really what friendship is, based on, the word respect and what that means, and any type of relationship that you choose to be in. you know. So that's one thing I look at too in my real life, you know. What I say respect is, you know, is something that I want, you know, but I also see it as something that I deserve to have, you know, even in real life with people that I have in real life. So it's also a lesson learned for me in the end, you know. So again, my story, truth versus lies. Lies usually win. Look how long my own abusers in real life, their lies went on and on. In the end, I did catch it, but look how long it took before they finally came out. I was 47 years old when I finally got out. So yeah, lies usually win over the truth, which is sad. And many times people will choose a bad relationship and turn on somebody that actually cared about them and go against them like Unshorn Cuntassanova did to me. So yeah, cult leaders. And again, things like doing those types of things, anybody that's involved in it, like I said, cult leader, cult leader assistant, clan members, followers, onlookers, they all play a part in the cycle of abuse and making it worse in all areas. Lying and all that stuff and doing things intentionally. What makes you think those people don't do that in real life? That's right. Even though it's online, more than likely, I'm my guess is positively they do that in real life. So even online, when you do that stuff, you're making it worse in all areas of abuse, all different types. Know your part in the role in it too. Cult leader, cult leader assistant, clan member, follower, onlooker. That's right. Know your part and think about it next time you make a decision in what you want to do, whether it be online or in real life. I'm Shelley Rothus, and I'm a different kind of victim. I'll see you next time.